Do you remember radio station KLYX? Not many people do. But that is where inductee Don Armstrong got his start. This is Robert B. McIntyre. In 1971, FM was still finding its way. So bouncing over to a big AM signal like KPRC was a pretty good deal. Anchoring the afternoon news block, Don also pinch hit for talk hosts on 950 AM. Management liked what they saw and heard, and eventually gave him bigger shoes to fill. First as production director, then operations manager. One major no-no as a newscaster was to lend your voice to commercials. But the brass made an exception in Don's case, and over time, he became the go-to guy for some of the biggest brands in town, like Randall's, the Mattress Firm, and the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. By the time KPRC radio and TV split, Don made the move to freelance full-time. But the broadcast bug that bit him refused to fly away. And it was back to his old haunt off the Southwest Freeway, but this time, upstairs. First as traffic reporter, then co-anchor of the morning news on KPRC television. Don can still be seen on TV today, high above Houston reporting traffic every afternoon in Sky Eye 13 HD. But radio has a way of bringing you back, and it has for Don. Behind the microphone once again, hosting his weekly car-centric show in Wheel Time on Yahoo Sports Radio 1560 AM every weekend. He's never given up his side projects and manages to freelance a ton to this day, represented by the top agency in town. But today, it is his roots in radio we celebrate that started his storied career in the same city for more than 4 decades. Don Armstrong, my friend, and a 2015 inductee of the Texas Radio Hall of Fame.
Well, unlike everybody else that ad-libbed their acceptance speech today, I wrote mine because at my age, I can't remember anything anymore. And there's so many people that I wanted to mention in accepting this award. It's a true honor to be here today and to be inducted into the Texas Radio Hall of Fame. Number of people who influenced my broadcasting career that I'd like to thank. Starting with the mother of my Cub Scout den, believe it or not. Yeah, she was the one that managed to get a tour of the radio station in Waukesha, Wisconsin. I mean, a very tiny radio station, and that always stayed with me. At the age of 13, it was KILT radio personalities like Russ Knight, the Weird Beard, Jim Wood, Steve Lundy, Chuck Dunaway, Rick Shaw, Bill Young, that taught me the value of personality radio. And then there was Dan Lovett, Jim Carolla, and Robert B. McIntyre, who influenced news delivery. Al Pavey was the general manager at KLYX Radio, my first job in the business. And he either took a chance on me jockeying records on the 6 to midnight shift, or somehow knew that with a little cash and a trade at an apartment complex, that I would be the next victim to introduce the likes of Andre Kostelanetz or Ronnie Stutz, that you saw the award that I got there for that. Percy Faith, just a couple of the station's rock stars at the time. In 71, it was Jack London at KPRC Radio that was looking for a production part-time jock and fill-in guy, and as it turned out, I was the chosen one for that, or perhaps the only one that applied for the job, I'm not sure. There was Don Watson, the KPRC news director, who must have heard something in my delivery style that asked if I would come into his department and jock the news from 4 to 6 in the afternoons in the news block. Well, with titles of news anchor, production manager, and later operations manager, it seems like I was the hobby family's anointed one. Then in 93, they sold the station. Imagine that. It was that time, as you remember. I was on my own. I thought television came calling, and that's a story for another day. Special thanks to my decades-long friend Harold Gunn, for secretively working behind the scenes to bring me this honor, and thanks to Josh Holstead for his diligent work on the Texas Radio Hall of Fame, and thank you all.